real life.
Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and for today, for this show, is joining me Trisha Ghoshal. We're here in Sydney in our apartment. It's raining outside, so we can't really go and do a show outside. Unfortunately, that's why we had to cancel our plans and stay in. But our penultimate day in Sydney, and
But you can still see the Harbour Bridge.
yeah, so that's something we did.
Yeah, that's
We
something
did.
we did.
That's something definitely we did.
Mm.
But yes, let's look back on the series. Let's look back on what was a very, very eventful Border Gavaskar trophy. But this time around, because we've been very critical of the team, we've called a spade a spade. We've not sugarcoated the performance of the Indian team. But this time around, let's look back on five positives that we've had throughout the series. Because even if you
We
have
have
to,
spoken about a lot of negatives. We have
exactly,
actually completely forgotten that
there
a
are
series of this
positives.
every series, every series has some positives, some negatives, and currently there is no positivity about Gargi trying to adjust our frame. But anyway,
That's good.
okay, they can't see the Harbour Bridge now. See, what did you do?
Oh no.
But going back to the point, of course, let's talk about say five positives.
Yes, five positives. Should I
Number
start?
one, yeah.
I forgot.
For me, number one would be Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Oh yeah.
Sealing. You think this was a series where he absolutely sealed that debate of anybody replacing him for the next, say, at least the England series as the opener?
Yeah. He sealed the
Because
deal.
England becomes very important. England is the start of the next WTC cycle. While of course, there will be disappointment about how this WTC cycle has gone. But if we look forward to, Yashashvi, you have seen Yashashvi in this series. What would you say are the reasons you believe that he would do well when the team goes to England?
I think Yashasvi Jaiswal has been the highlight of the series. One of the highlights of this series because he's shown you that he's very young, mind you, and with the kind of approach that he has to his game, he has a very aggressive batting. There's always a risk, a high risk, high reward sort of situation with that kind of batting. But with Yashasvi Jaiswal, that's not the case. He gives you solidity. Let's look back on that 160 score that we had from him. Let's look back on the 282s in Melbourne. You know what happened there? I think he's shown you that he can shoulder the responsibility. Even when the rest of the batting lineup is faltering, Yashasvi Jaiswal is there. And that's a very big impact to have in cricket or in any team because he's very young. He's going into opening, and it was very, very challenging conditions. There were multiple times where he was completely under pressure. Melbourne second innings, no one else, no
Absolutely.
one except Rishabh Pant crossed double digits. Every single batter got out for single digits, and it was just Yashasvi Jaiswal's 84 that took the team forward. What more do you want? How much more do you want him to prove himself? I think that's been Yashasvi Jaiswal has been brilliant in this series.
With patches of improvement required, I think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
completely agree with Gargi that Yashasvi Jaiswal has looked, very good in testing conditions also.
exactly.
Because in Sydney it wasn't that easy, but Sydney wicket was weird.
Very. We don't. I don't
If
know how to explain it.
in
What?
fact, I was telling one of our fellow journalists that if there was no wicket marking,
We wouldn't be able.
you wouldn't know which one was the practice pitch, which one was the actual pitch. It was that bad. But yes, Yashasvi Jaiswal, I felt the other thing, Yashasvi has it in him to stand up for himself. Yes, maybe a lot of people mocked him once he got out to Stark for a duck the next time. But think of this, Australia got in a Sam Constas, and Constas, by the way, does not play like that in Sheffield Shield. He was asked to play like that, and he was asked to behave like that because I had a small encounter with Constance when we were covering the practice, and he was absolutely normal, and he was talking to Indian journalists also extremely normally. But it's just that Australia had given him that role to rile
Yeah,
people
of
up,
course.
to go and say words to the Indian batters continuously along with Marnus Labuschagne, who's an artist at that, an absolute art at that. But that is exactly where I think, Yashashvi has got that aggression about him as well, and he has that
Confidence.
stroke play, exactly that whole thing. So Yashashvi is a huge positive. And think of his confidence. He has scored in South Africa, he has scored in Australia. Now he's going to England.
And if he scores there, I think we've got. Look, I've been saying this for a long time, and I will take full credit in,
You made his selection.
no, no, no.
Okay.
In the fact that I've been backing him from a very long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I think
I have been saying this for a very, very long time. Even when there was certain debate, Shubman versus Yashashvi or anything like that. There was a time when Shubman
Yes,
was
of
the
course.
biggest next superstar, all of that, and I always said it. Look, I don't know about Shubman Gill, but Yashashvi is there.
Gargia, I do feel that Shubman needs to curb a lot of instincts to reach there. It's
Yeah.
not like he doesn't have the talent, but we'll talk about Shubman some other time.
And before we head to the next point, one more positive about Yashasvi Jaiswal is in the midst of everything that was happening, the kind of dismissals that we saw, Yashasvi was the one who never gave his wicket away.
No, he did in
Once.
Melbourne. Yeah, yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
It's fine. Compared to what we've seen from the
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
batters, that's fine.
Mhm.
I think that happens sometimes. But compared to what we've seen from the other batters, Yashasvi,
Yeah,
he
Thumbs Up is
always
our sponsor. I'm having Coke.
Coke.
Thank God.
You got scared. I just saw the panic on your face. Okay, number two.
We will take guys, keep sending us questions. We will just list our 5 pointers, and then we will get to questions. Don't think that we will not take the questions, because first 15 minutes, okay, so here's what we will do. First 15 minutes we talk about our 5 positive points, while you guys send in your questions. Why don't you also send in, comment what do you think are the positive takeaways from this Border Gavaskar trophy for you guys, and
Yeah.
Gargi, at the end of 15 minutes, I was going to say at the end of 15 days. At the end of 15 minutes, we'll take the questions, right?
I don't mind staying another 15 days here.
Well, okay. No, my mom's returning. I'm going home. So, point number two, KL Rahul,
100%.
positive in both ways, I would say. KL Rahul, an overseas opener. Yes, there are a lot of people who will say his average is this, his average is that. You have to take into account that there has been a lot of toiling with his batting order, and it's never easy when there's toiling with your batting order.
One question: Did this toil also happen in New Zealand? New Zealand series? Was his batting position changed? I can't remember. But if this has happened in both the series, then yeah, just imagine what the kind of mental toll that KL Rahul has to take.
Yes, I mean, see, KL Rahul has been asked to keep in 1 days.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that the guy has done to kind of,
When you really think
adjust.
about it, if you go into the nuances and the details, you'll realize how versatile KL Rahul is, and he
I
gives you
agree.
so many options, and he gives you solidity at every place. It's just the fact that you don't tinker with him time and time again. I think he would have done well at number three if he was at number three from the very beginning till the very end. What happened was you sent him.
Yeah,
You
well said.
you
Because in the New Zealand tour, very interesting that obviously KL was batting at number 5 in the New Zealand test.
Exactly my point. See, that's what I've been saying. New Zealand series number five. You open with him in the first two tests in BGT. Number three, no, third also did he open? Yes.
Yeah, I thought he opened.
First three tests you open with him. Then in the fourth test, Rohit Sharma comes in, and KL Rahul goes back to number four. Number
Number
three.
3.
In the fourth and in the final test, Rohit Sharma is dropped, and KL Rahul has to come back to
Open the
opening
batting.
position again. Imagine 5-1-3-1
3-1.
in the span of how many months? 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
4 months. Can you imagine what that does to a batter? No one has spoken about this. But everyone will be the first to criticize KL Rahul when he does not perform.
See, that's why we analyze it point wise, and objectively, if you look at it, you will realize that it's not easy. It's not easy to change positions. And the other thing that I think I have mentioned twice or thrice in 3 different lives, guys, don't hold this against me, but I'm genuinely glad to see such a good slip fielder, because we have
Yeah.
not got permanent sleep fielders. Come on, let us agree that Virat Kohli, because of his excitement, while he's a very very good fielder, I don't know if he's the best of slip fielders, but I think KL Rahul, again, because of the wicket keeping part, which I've mentioned, I have been mentioning over and over again, gives you that cushion as well. Because slip catching is not easy.
No, it's
And
not.
you know how we can say this. For example, I have tried slip catching in my playing days, and I remember I could barely see anything, and you have to go by anticipation because the batter is covering most of the line of the ball. So that's why I think KL Rahul, the batter, KL Rahul, the slip fielder, and eventually when the transition happens, you would need KL Rahul, the leader, talking to the young guns and even talking to Bumrah. Rahul, I don't know if Rahul would be the vice captain or Pant. I think it should be either of Pant and Gill, whoever is performing better, and that is where I would go for Pant. But in that transition phase, KL Rahul as one of the seniors will be very important.
Absolutely, 100%. But yes, Claire Rahul was the second positive of our show. And moving on to number three.
Yeah, somebody says, Shagnik, you said that KL Rahul, how can you back KL Rahul? Shagnik, we are talking about positives from this series, not from the entire career. So let's talk about from this series. Are similar to Jadeja. Jadeja did nothing in this series apart from that 177. KL Rahul has played important knocks in this series.
The most important part of number one, number three is I have written a piece about written. I have written a piece about this. That's why I really got into numbers. But when you look at the partnerships he had at number one versus number three, that tells you everything.
Absolutely. And you know what, Shagnik, I understand where you're probably coming from because I also know his average isn't great. He has been backed a number of times. But backing someone does not simply mean, giving that person chance in the playing 11. It also means consistently giving him a chance at a particular role. KL Rahul started as an opener, 5-3. Define a role for him, give him 10 innings, and see whether he fits in or he doesn't. Next.
Okay. Number three, we're going to be talking about in this transitional phase of Indian cricket. You have some positives in the youngsters. Let's start with Harshit Rana because you're a
Yes.
bowler. Let's take it away.
I was a bowler. Currently in the production, there is a super chat.
Yeah.
What is the update of Mayank Yadav injury? Sorry, Jyotish. We do not exactly have that update, but surely we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
We'll get back in the course of the discussion. For me, as you said, Harshit Rana is a positive. That's kitty customer. Mhm.
Okay.
That's kitty customer. I really enjoyed Travis at wicket. Come on, guys, you guys enjoyed it as well. And why exactly? Uh, is my shirt burning? Absolutely, the light is that
It's something
bright.
happens with this camera. That I can tell you.
Right. One Harshit Rana, I think. Also, the positive part of Harshit is Harshit can bat a little, much like Akashdeep. I don't know who would you rate as a better batter, but in both the cases, they can give you that because remember, Akashdeep saved a match for you. So in that place, to bat with Bumrah or because Bumrah and Shami in England had also saved a match this way. So I think that is how it's so the injury update for Mayank is still injured. There's no really, I mean, no confirmation of when he'll be back. Sorry for that. And getting back to the youngsters, Harshit Rana one, and the second name that I took in relation to the second one, Akashdeep. How impressive has Akashdeep been?
I'll let you take this one and I'll talk about the third youngster.
Who's the third youngster?
There is one.
Oh, NKR. Of
Yes.
course. Nitish Kumar Reddy. Yeah, Akashdeep again. Both Akashdeep and Harshit for me are future prospects, but in different ways. Gargi, the only thing is I don't think Akashdeep or Harshit is going to play for all five tests or all the like for three tests or something of that sort, because they are two pretty different bowlers suiting to different conditions. So Akashdeep better batsman Trishadi. I mean,
Then
Shagnik
who?
again. Then Harshit Rana, not KL
अच्छा,
Rahul.
मतलब ये क्या हो रहा है?
Shagdeep perspective. Akashdeep, I have seen in Bengal a lot more. You have seen in Bengal a lot more probably. But I don't think Harshit and Akashdeep have a huge difference when it comes to batting. Again, bowling to different style bowlers will suit to different pitches. And I think if you use them in that particular condition, very, very effective bowlers.
Now to move on to number three.
Yeah, I have answered Shagnik's question, Neil. Rest.
Yeah. And the third youngster who's been very, very impressive is obviously Nitish Kumar Reddy, who we've all loved to watch the way that he's performed. I think he has been brilliant. I think he's been brilliant to think that this was his debut tour. It was Australia. The conditions were challenging. There was immense pressure because of the fragile batting lineup. When you take all of these things into consideration and see the impact that Nitish Kumar Reddy has made, it's incredible. Those 340 plus scores,
240 plus scores and
two or
100.
three,
Two. And
yeah,
100.
240 scores, and that 100 that came at the perfect time just when India needed him. That takes a lot.
You don't mind? Can I take this comment?
Yeah.
Neil, can you take liked Viral's comment? Too early to appreciate NKR. भाई चाहते क्या हो तुम लोग? कभी बोलते हो अप्रिशिएट नहीं करते हो, कभी बोलते हो अप्रिशिएट बहुत जल्दी कर रहे हो. क्या करें? हम क्या करें? मतलब सच बता दो यार. You know what, the problem is you guys are looking from a very negative perspective. We get it that India has lost the series, but every series, whether you lose it or win it, has certain positive, and that series has it. Nobody is saying that Nitish Kumar Reddy is
He's
the
the
next
greatest of
superstar,
all time.
but think of this, your team is going through a transition. Do you see Nitish Kumar Reddy in the playing 11? And most importantly, there is another very important question. Do you see somebody with the exact role that Nitish Kumar Reddy has, as a replacement for him? Do you some? Why are you playing with my page turners? Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Yeah. Do you think that there are too many people who fit in that Nitish Kumar Reddy role?
No.
See, there you go.
And and you think about
In an intimidating Border Gavaskar trophy in that Melbourne match when there was
nobody else.
that 100.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Too early to
You
appreciate?
exactly you don't see, guys. You are just seeing numbers. See the situations where the numbers have come, then you'll realize how important these numbers actually are. It's very easy to just look at a scorecard and judge a player, but when you actually look at the context of where that performance has come from or what the conditions were behind it, then you realize the importance of it. And that Nitish Kumar Reddy 100 came when India needed it the most. So that's that. One more thing I would like to say when it comes to Nitish Kumar Reddy, like Viral is saying, it's too early to appreciate, but the fact that he has performed that way is a very, very good sign for Indian cricket, especially considering that in Test cricket, in Indian Test cricket, there is a huge Hardik Pandya shaped void, and you have no one else in that category right now.
Absolutely. I think Nitish needs to work a little on his pace. If he can get that pace, in England it will be. What are you doing?
Nothing, I'm going down.
In England, I think he'll be very, very effective.
Yeah.
Fourth point.
Fourth point was let's talk about the skipper a little bit.
Yeah, of course, of course. I think there has been a lot spoken about Rohit Sharma,
Yeah.
his PR, not PR. Why did he come out and say so and so? What did you guys want him to say? I'm dropped. I hate Gautam Gambhir. Let us all ruin the series. No, right? I think my respect for Rohit Sharma has increased the way he handled the situation. Whether he stood down, let's say he was dropped. Let's say if he was dropped,
He was not.
he is Rohit Sharma. He could have made a huge hue and cry about it. In fact, he could have spoken crap about the team, the divide in the team, whether it's there, whether it's not there. Rohit Sharma, what does he do in the interview? Whatever he says, Not once has he spoken anything against the team, the coach, the senior players,
Not
the
once.
junior players, nothing. Number two, he comes out with the drinks. He speaks to Rishabh Pant. He speaks to
Speaking
the
about Bumrah,
bowlers.
yeah,
He was speaking to Siraj. He was speaking to Prasid. So he was doing his job,
exactly.
and he did it with so much grace. Also, wait for the comments PR of Rohit Sharma
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, yeah. They're going to come. They're going to come. But I think when you look at the contrast of how the call was handled by, let's say, Gautam Gambhir and management versus how Rohit Sharma handled it, there's a huge difference. And the call could have been handled much more better. There should have been a lot more dignity in class. Rohit Sharma should have been in that press conference. Gautam Gambhir in no circumstance should have said that we'll look at the wicket and then decide if Rohit plays or not. I think that was not it reflected poorly on the management's handling of the case. But versus what happened with this versus how Rohit Sharma reacted to everything that happened, pure class.
What is your last positive? Because when we were talking about it, we were also a little confused. What
What?
could be the last positive? For me, I think it was
Let's make the subjective. You different.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, I think the last positive, of course, from this series was very tough.
Can I answer till you think
Yeah, yeah,
about it?
yeah, sure.
I would say Bumrah is a captain. My
Nice.
fifth positive, and the most important positive was, of course, Jasprit Bumrah as the captain. Because in Test cricket, because it's such a long game, because you have to grind it out, what matters is how you carry the team, how you carry the atmosphere of the dressing room, and the attitude of the team on the field, because you're there the entire day, and it's not necessary that every single day you'll have brilliant performances from every single member of the team. But what matters is if you have a united front, if you have a team who's supporting each other. And you saw that happening in the last test, with Jasprit Bumrah being very, very proactive with the way that he was communicating with the bowlers. I would say Virat Kohli also had a huge role to play in
Of
this.
course, but Virat Kohli is part of the leadership
Yeah,
team,
yeah,
so
he's of course.
of course. But yeah,
The way
Jasprit
that
Bumrah, very good point.
Jasprit Bumrah brought that team together, I think that was incredible.
For me, I think for over the years we have seen our top order perform, and somewhere in the middle we get lost. The middle and lower order. For me, one of the biggest positives in this series has been how the resistance and the resilience shown by the top and the middle order. So that part is absolutely one of the biggest positives for me from this series. These are our five positives. Now, two things. Oh my god.
One last thing,
Yeah.
Jasprit Bumrah, a little bit of an injury update here.
Yeah.
So, so when we're talking about Jasprit Bumrah's injury, further tests will be done after returning to India. England ODIs are unlikely.
Yeah, those obviously.
Obviously. And of course, the Champions Trophy call of whether he will play in the team or not will be done after these reports come out, and the selection is on the 12th of January.
Perfect.
So we'll find. Yeah, sure. Trisha knows the schedule now.
Perfect.
She'll take care of that.
So we'll now take comments. Neil.
Someone said last positive is us being in Australia.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We completely
we'll take
agree
it.
with you.
We'll take it.
But Neil, go to the topmost comment because that is where we'll start from. I love taking comments. Until unless, of course, they're abusers, because then you are losing out. We are not going to take that comment. Bhargav 1001 is saying that run out completely shifted the momentum. Completely agree, Bhargav. Completely agree. That run out not only shifted the momentum, the very next over, Virat also loses his focus,
Yeah.
gets out. Before that, that 35 looked almost at par with that Perth 100 for Virat. So that run out did shift momentum, and in a way where we went on to lose Melbourne, and then the whole shift in momentum happened, and we lost Sydney as well. So Bhargav, absolutely correct.
More comments.
Priyanshu says hello, Trisha Didi. Hello, Priyanshu.
What about me? Are
अच्छा राज is saying something. Raj is saying गिल ओडीआई में वर्ल्ड कप सेमीफाइनल के सिवा देख लो उसमें भी अभी फ्लॉप है. Okay, I mean Gill in ODIs, yet to prove himself. Yes, Gill yet to prove himself. That's true. Potential, not proved himself.
Overseas, no. And the fact that we've seen more than a couple of wickets that were given away by himself, I think that's where the concern lies. Because he's getting set, he's not looking bad, but he's not converting them to big innings. And Yashasvi Jaiswal has been brilliant at that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Australia top order in this series: Khwaja, Maxwell, Constas Marnus with 410 runs. Meanwhile, Head alone 409 runs in this series. India 10 साल से इंग्लैंड से कोई T20 सीरीज नहीं हारी. अब जीजी का ये रिकॉर्ड तोड़ने की बारी. अरे come on यार. I mean, don't be so harsh on Gautam Gambhir. Look, when a new coach takes the role of a successful coach, because Rahul Dravid, while going out, he won the World Cup, and that's one of the highest things that a coach could have done. After that, when you take on the role of the head coach of a team, it is difficult to settle in. You'll take a few series because also Gautam Gambhir is handling the is handling the transition phase, which is not easy to handle at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Next comment, I'll take it. I can't see that far. Do you see Rohit Kohli play this year's Ranji cycle? They should, but they won't.
When
Who
is the Ranji
wouldn't?
cycle? Depends on when is the Ranji
I don't
cycle.
think you have time to play
That
Ranji.
that is my question, Shagni.
You have
I
time.
know a lot of people are talking about them going back to the domestic, but
They don't
right
have
now you
time.
don't have domestic to for them to go back to.
They can play county.
They can play county,
There's
absolutely
time
they
for
can.
county, but I don't think there's time for Ranji.
Yeah.
You take the next one.
Is a Paddy Upton like man necessary in the
Yes,
Indian team? Yes, yes.
100%.
400%.
Five.
Because there's the mental aspect. Always it will always remain in international sport. I think international sport, what I think every industry, every
Yeah.
office should have a
Every human
mental
being.
conditioning coach. Absolutely. Next, Shubman got enough chances by now. He has to compete for third position with other youngsters. Third position?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3. I'm like, third position, ये कौन सा race है? अच्छा. Maybe takeaway one. Okay, Light Viral has said takeaway one. India needs third bowler like Scott Boland level for change.
Oh, yeah.
First change bowler. But we are saying positive takeaways. Positive. क्या हो गया है लोगों को पॉजिटिव सुनाई नहीं देता है. Shagnik Jaiswal as an opener, fantastic. Jasprit Bumrah, the monster is back. The monster. Okay, Nitish Reddy as a batting all-rounder. Perfect, Shagnik. See, Shagnik has set that example. That's the positives we are looking for. Okay, Anit Sadhu. Anit Sadhu. Anit is a regular viewer.
Yes. So is
Anit.
Shagnik as
Shagnik.
well.
Yeah, series lost, but it is positive because non-performers are in scrutiny from the fans, board, executive.
That is a very complicated positive there.
Sure, sure.
You twisted that into a
Yeah.
positive.
Orgodeep M saying number 3 should be ready in tests. He's proper solid technique, pure batter. You're doing it again. You did it with KL Rahul. You're doing it with Nitish Reddy.
Don't do it.
अभी आकाशदीप को भी promote कर दे. See, I understand what I completely agree with his proper solid technique, pure batter,
Which he has.
which he has. But if you're putting it at him at number 3, think of it. Number 6, 7, that defense, that technique, and number 3, that defense, that technique. Probably he would fit in, but do you want to play around with his batting order after just one series? Is another question altogether. Because look, he has faced both highs and lows in this series: 240s, one century, and then first ball duck. And all that has happened. The last 3 matches, the last 3 innings have not been that at par. So that way, probably he's now trying to second guess, should I get. But also in Sydney, first innings, his bowling was very, there was this fiery spell. He got 3 wickets. So right now he's trying to understand his role in the team, and suddenly you tell him to go and bat at number 3. Will that be fair on him?
No, of course not.
Yeah, be louder, Gargi. You're not
No,
telling
of
me.
course not. That's 100% not fair. Stop tinkering with. Also, let's get this straight. The reason why he's performed is because he's at that position. Maybe if he was at a different position, maybe you wouldn't have seen the same outcome.
Well said, Gargi. I completely agree with you.
Wow.
Shagnik, India lost because we were playing with limited resources in terms of bowling, Trisha Didi.
You
I
had more
agree.
than enough resources. You just
But
didn't
I agree.
use it right.
Pacers, and not only pacers, I think that thought process, Gargi, was a little weird to me because
Skewed. Very
under
skewed.
Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, overseas, matlab, five bowlers will play.
Ah.
But here we do not know what was Washington Sundar's role. I still don't know what was Vashi Sundar doing in the team.
He was there to bowl the final over.
Yeah, he was there to bowl the final over. He did not bowl, poor guy, and he was made to bat at number 8. What a waste of resource. By the way, Vashi can bat really well. I don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
exactly he was wasted.
More questions.
If Hardik Pandya not considered as captain due to fitness issues, then how making Jasprit Bumrah captain justify this point of fitness while selecting captaincy candidates?
But the injury happened later, right?
The question is,
I don't think Hardik Pandya was it done because of
yeah,
the
yeah.
injury issue.
Look, Hardik Pandya is extremely injury prone.
Prone, yeah.
I don't know how Jasprit Bumrah is not extremely injury prone, apart from the fact that yes, his bowling action is such that if he does have trainers tournaments, he is going to be injured. And injury is part and parcel of a fast bowler's.
Life, yes, 100%. But also look at the fact that you overbowled Jasprit Bumrah in this series, which is why he ended up getting injured.
Yes, I agree. Overall, it's Mohammad Siraj. By the way, now Mohammad Siraj's workload management has to be taken care of because he has bowled 671 overs
671? 671 overs.
in since 2023, and Jasprit Bumrah is the second. And guess what? He has bowled 560 overs.
Yeah.
That's 111 overs less than what
Mohammad
Siraj
Siraj
has
has
bowled. So
That's a lot.
yeah, that's a lot of overs. Okay, freaking awesome is saying positives. Jaiswal's ability to adapt to different conditions and he can play according to situation.
Yeah.
Nitish is fairly consistent batting. Sundar's resilience in batting, but he has to bat ahead of Jaddu. If Sundar is playing in the team as a batter alone, then what do you think should be Sundar's batting position, Gargi?
I You'll have to see the left right combination happen.
Perfect. So Rishabh comes in at 5.
5.
So then at 6 it's Jaddu.
Hmm.
And 7 it's Nitish. 8 is Washi. Yeah, you cannot change.
You can't change. Exactly.
Then you have to put Washi ahead of Jaddu, which could have been done considering the fact that you did not use Washington Sundar the bowler. So if you really wanted, but again, how can you send him ahead of Jaddu?
You can't. Jaddu gives you a lot of solidity with the
Yeah,
bat.
I think all this mystery would have been solved if they had given Washington proper bowling, because I do think that it's not like Washi couldn't have got wickets.
Yeah. In the okay, but when you look back on the Melbourne Test, he bowled, and Abhishek Nair had come out and said that we're using him as a cushioning for our bowling. We want
Why?
I don't
Why
know
can't he be a wicket taking bowler?
to give some respite to the other bowlers or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. At
Yeah.
number 8, you're not going to play a pure batter. You're playing an all rounder.
Yeah.
So why is he being used as a cushion and why is he not being used properly?
Questions we will never have answers to.
Yeah, I know. Shagni, do you think Ishwaran deserves a chance? Whether I think Ishwaran deserves a chance or not, let me give you
But
some
where?
other insight. The thing is, I have an answer to that, but where?
Okay.
I'll come to that. But Ishwaran was practicing. He was practicing for a long time in match day -1 nets. In fact, the first day of the test also, we ran out for the lunch live, and when we were coming back, we saw Ishwaran was practicing. So definitely, Ishwaran is in the scheme of things as far as Gautam Gambhir is concerned. Because Gautam Gambhir was observing the nets in which Ishwaran was batting as well in matchday -1 Sydney. So I feel Gill probably will get the ultimatum at number 3, and if he does not perform well enough, that's one spot, and the other spot is Mr. Kohli. at number 4. That spot is also there. I
Yeah.
think while I do think that Kohli will be there in that England test series, but also I think Ishwaran will be there for either Prince or King, as they are known. I am not saying King, of course. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Pavan Singh, kya? Sorry,
How long will it
let's go on some more 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
क्या विराट कैप्टेंसी कर सकते है, क्योंकि एज टेस्ट कैप्टन 60% विन 54 एवरेज विद बैट 20
Virat
सेंचुरी
Kohli.
इन 16 में.
Let me answer that. Is he giving you consistent performances with the bat? Will you once again make a captain who's not consistent with the bat? That's the question to ask here. I'm not saying that Virat Kohli is
Look,
not capable
if
of
you're talking about
leadership.
Virat Kohli's leadership, then none of us have the question.
No,
But the
but
question
yeah,
is, it's the same thing that happened with Rohit Sharma. You were taking him in the playing 11 because maybe this decision of him standing out or sitting out, whatever, that whole decision could have been taken 2 test matches ago or 1 test match ago, but that did not happen because it's not easy to take that decision for your captain. Now you make Virat Kohli the captain. He has not shown any bit of form in the last 4 or 5 innings. Again, I think I'm framing the sentence wrong because it's not like he has looked bad, but he has not been able to
pattern.
control that, fifth, sixth stump ball. So he has been exposed. You think the England pacers are not doing their homework? You think they're not going to bowl in that fifth, sixth stump channel when India goes to England? And then if Virat is still not able to look, whether Virat is capable of getting over this weakness, I think both of us will be saying a resounding yes. Has he got over it? No. Is he working hard? Yes.
Yeah.
He's right there in the
In
nets
the nets.
after, the moment India's match finished, he was there in the nets. The moment he got out, he was there in the nets. But somehow he's not being able to get that right. And do you really want a captain like that, as of now?
No, I don't think so.
It's unfair. It's unfair on others, I would say. If okay, sorry, KL Rahul, huh? Okay, no. Reddy at 3, Washington at 4. Both
No.
solid technique, pure batter in tests. It would help India. It's an emotional
Pitch.
call. It's an emotional
Yeah,
call.
it's a yes.
Shagnik Bumrah fitness we just gave. Indian cricket fan, ma'am, why nobody talking about Rutu for ODIs, even having best averages? Who is not talking about Rutu? We are always saying that Ruturaj Gaikwad should get chances. In fact, there are so many former cricketers who are coming in support of Ruturaj getting chances. My only thing is, I think they are making it state versus state and all that. That part is unnecessary. But otherwise, I think it's the right call. Rutu has very good technique, Gargi.
He does. He looks very, very technically sound. He's not a big hitter.
Absolutely.
When you not someone like a Yashasvi or not someone like a Rishabh Pant or something, but he gets you a lot of runs. He gets you a lot of runs with technology, with sound technique. Yeah.
um, do you do you think Pat Cummins is the greatest in terms of captaincy? Can we call him modern day great because he has won almost everything? Shagnik, absolutely. I mean, can we? There's no doubt. Like he has
Yeah,
proved it to
won
all
for
of us.
everything.
He is one of the greatest captains that I've seen. He's such a nonchalantly, I mean, he goes about his
Yeah,
business
and
so,
the good.
yeah, exactly. And he knows the team, he backs the team so well. Because when you say this, it's very interesting. When Ricky Ponting was the captain, there was a different set of aura around him. There was this whole team who you knew would come against the Indians in every sort of way. Pat Cummins also does his bit in his press conference. He plays down that the Indians are not that big enough. I don't know why. And then when he's asked questions like just one word for Jasprit Bumrah, he would say just bowler. Virat Kohli just batter, and so he
I
keeps the
think
banter alive.
that's he does that on purpose.
Yeah,
Very
he
much
keeps that
so.
banter alive.
Yeah.
Having said that, that is one more reason he does not come off as someone like a Ricky Ponting. But the achievements are very, very right up there.
And
I'll ask you another thing. In this fragile batting lineup, hasn't Pat Cummins looked like one of the most solid ones?
Yeah, he absolutely has. And I'll tell you something. Now, having heard him speak a few times in press conferences, it's different when you're there in person and you can, catch their body language and their expressions. But Pat Cummins is truly a leader. He is truly a people's person, and he truly wants youngsters to come in. Yeah, come on, who answers like this? When he was asked in the press conference about what is the best part of being a captain, he answered, "Watching youngsters come in." Who says that? Come on. I think that was one of, you can go back and watch that video on our platform as well. He spoke brilliantly about being a captain and the responsibilities. But yes, he's a great person.
Should Jaiswal be considered as opener in ODIs?
Yeah.
Gargi?
Who
Yeah, I think of course.
you can, of
Yashasvi Jaiswal
course.
in ODIs will be a very good prospect. And
Last five
also,
minutes on the
yeah,
show.
last 5 minutes on the show. Uh, Shubman Gill, everyone is telling he is talented as hell. He's the he's the upcoming superstar, but he has not scored a Sena 50 the last 15 innings. Thoughts? Yes, exactly what we said while we were rating him also back. I think yesterday we were doing,
Yesterday,
yeah,
yeah.
yesterday, and we had said this, that the problem is, while Shubman Gill is talented and nobody has a iota of doubt about his talent, but that talent makes no sense if you don't have performance.
Again, the same point, right? He looks doesn't look bad. He looks great actually. His technique doesn't look bad. But he's not able to convert his innings after he's set. He gives it away. That's the biggest
Absolutely.
problem here. We want some
Shagnik is
responsibility.
saying Coca Cola.
So it's
Yes,
second.
Shagnik, you caught me. Shagnik got what I was
Yeah, yeah,
drinking.
yeah. Let's go to the newest ones. Um, 274 ball 148 in Vijay Hazare. Yeah, yeah, we've been saying he deserves a place in the team. Okay, I think that's pretty much. HKHR is saying Australia will win Champions Trophy. Okay. Um,
We will take the Champions Trophy predictions maybe a few days later,
I know Aksar in the team.
because Akshar Patel became a father and
Father,
he
he was
wanted that
not.
time
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
And Tanuj Kotian. I
Hmm.
mean, they were. Rohit Sharma said that they were considering Aksar or Kuldeep,
Yeah,
but
Kuldeep is injured, and Aksar, I think Aksar
was
just
not
became a father.
was not available for selection
No, no, he
because
said
of
because
this.
of, yeah, yeah.
Because of that reason. That, oh my gosh, you both should be on the show together more often.
Sure, Boman. Why don't you write to Boriada saying this?
टीम इंडिया में मेन बॉलर की जरूरत है तो
बुमराह,
एक ही तो मेन बॉलर है तुम्हारे पास.
ये तुमने क्या कर दिया? बुमराह को
Future of Rohit, we can't tell.
future of Rohit, to be very honest, I think depends on Champions Trophy, Gargi.
Exactly.
Let's end the
Live.
live after this question.
Yeah.
I think, Neil, is there any other super chat? अगर super chat है तो लेंगे. Varna, I think we will
That's
close
the
it
end of
at
the
that.
show.
Yes, because Rohit is a very important topic, and I'll tell you what, Rohit's redemption would happen if he scores in the Champions Trophy, wins the Champions Trophy, because then that might give him that push where he can still probably be in that in that India team which goes to England.
Absolutely.
And that happens, might, it's very interesting. Form is very interesting. It goes, and then it seems like you cannot get runs, and then it comes back. Gargi, you will know it better. You were a batter, and everything suddenly falls into place.
And it's sometimes, you know what it is. Sometimes you're not even doing anything wrong, and it's just that your nets are perfect, your technique is perfect, your knockings are perfect, but when you go out to bat in the middle, run ही नहीं बन रहे.
Correct,
किसी
correct.
को पता ही नहीं क्यों नहीं बन रहे, but नहीं बन रहे.
Yeah, even
It's
as a
that
bowler,
strange.
there is a lot of criticism that bowlers face, but there are days, Gargi, when you go and you bowl, and guys, वो हाथ से छूटता ही नहीं है सही जगह, वो गिरता ही नहीं है सही जगह. And
So,
there are times that happens, but it's not like, do you think, okay, straight up question, do you think end of road for, it's end of our show, but do you think end of road for Rohit Sharma
no, I think
in
I
tests? Wonder, of course
no.
not.
I like the fact that he said that मैं रन बना के कभी भी वापस आ सकता
There you go. He might. Do you think that Virat ka to theek hai? We'll
Still
see. We'll
there.
find
Yeah, yeah.
out. But do you think that Rohit might go back? Do you see Rohit going back to the domestic?
That's I can't answer that. No idea.
Actually, it
He
depends on the
should.
cricketing calendar also.
Exactly. It depends on the cricketing calendar. Maybe he can opt for county, like we said. There's that gap between
Yeah,
IPL and England Test.
yeah,
That's where he can go and he can practice.
absolutely.
On that note,
We'll be back, but for today,
for today, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Keep joining us like this if you want more of me and Trisha. What do we do?
go right. Hashtag Red Sports
Tag
Global. Yes,
tag
and
Rep
tag.
Sports and Boria Mujhedar
Yes, absolutely, and
and
ask her.
demand.
Yeah, demand for Gargi Trisha show.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining.